We are learning about landforms today. I made a lot of videos last year around March when we first had the COVID issues. And the biggest criticism was that the kids said the videos were too long, you didn't talk fast enough. So I am going to try to fix this. If I perhaps talk too fast and you need to review something, you can luckily rewind it. So we are talking about landforms today, and the definition is in the word. This is how the land is formed, or a form of the land. In other words, it is the way land is shaped. The very first piece of land we're going to talk about is a plateau. A plateau needs at least one cliff, and it's going to be flat on top. This is Uluru, or Ayers Rock in Australia. And you can see we have at least one cliff. There's actually more than one because we start to see the other side, and it's going to be flat on top. This is the example of a plateau. We have lots of plateaus around the world. If you look at China, the majority of China is a plateau. The majority of China is also an uninhabitable. It's a very rocky plateau. If you look at Africa, almost the entire continent looks like this. If you get to the coast, it's going to be flat. And then at some point inland, at different degrees or different lengths, depending on which part of Africa you're in, you kind of get a cliff, and then it's flat. You can think of Africa as an opened box. Take the flaps of a box, flip the box upside down. The flaps would be the coastal area. You get to the sides of the box, which would be the cliff, and then it is flat on top. We also have a plateau in the middle of India. Even within the United States, New Mexico is largely a plateau. Okay, again, we need one cliff, and it's going to be flat on top. Plateau. Next, escarpment. This is part of our plateau. Escarpment is a big geography word that we use. It basically means cliff. So on this plateau, this part would be our escarpment. If we go back to the box example, that side of the box where you're climbing up the side, it's like a cliff, that is the escarpment. If you're thinking about the teacher's desk, the side of the desk where the drawers are, that would be the escarpment. It is a cliff that gets us to that flat top. Now, a totally separate word. This is a butte. This is not a butt. Please do not say, what did you learn about in social studies? We learned about butts. That's not it at all. A butte is a very, very narrow plateau. It's a form of a plateau, and you really only find these in a few spots. You can see these in the Southwest United States, Mexico, and a couple of places in Africa will give you this land formation. Again, it's a very, very narrow plateau. All buttes are plateaus. Not all plateaus are buttes, okay? Moving right along, friends. An isthmus. This is a very important one. You need to make sure that you pay attention. You might have sung a Christmas song about this particular landform. We wish you a Merry Isthmus. We wish you a Merry Isthmus. No? Okay, but I want you to remember, like Christmas time, if you celebrate Christmas, that is a time where kind of like family connects. An isthmus is something that connects. It's a strip of land. We have a narrow strip of land. If you see right here where I'm moving my mouse, and it's going to connect one big piece of land to another very large piece of land. This is the Isthmus of Panama. It's going to connect North America to South America. Between Africa and Asia, there is the Isthmus of Suez, or the Suez Isthmus, that connects those two places together. I'll be quite honest, I found this photo over here. I am not sure where it's from, but we can see large body of land, and this narrow strip is our isthmus. Okay, so think of Christmas time, people connecting. This is a narrow strip of land that connects two large bodies of land. We have one on the continent we live on that connects us to South America. Moving right along, little children, an archipelago. Some teacher at the elementary school must have taught this, because every year I have kids that definitely know this word, but I think it's interesting. is I will say, okay, kids, we're going to learn about an archipelago. Hands will shoot up and they will say, Mr. Moorhead, you pronounced that wrong. I'm like, I did? How do you pronounce it? Every year this happens. My teacher taught me it's archipelago. That is incorrect. You don't pronounce it archipelago. Archipelago sounds like some sort of waffle. All right, that sounds like some like Lego my archipelago. No, it's an archipelago. Okay, archipelago. This is a chain of islands. We have the Outer Banks is an archipelago. The Florida Keys are an archipelago. Japan, Indonesia, the Philippines, all archipelagos. This is a group of islands. Now, if you look this up online, sometimes it says a group of small islands. It doesn't have to be small islands. Okay, it can be any group of islands. You just need multiple ones. And most islands in this world come in large numbers. Okay, all righty. Archipelago, it is a chain of islands, a group of islands, if you will. Moving right along, peninsula. Now, in elementary school, you are taught that a peninsula is a piece of land surrounded by water on three sides. As we get older, we tend not to say three sides. If you look here at Australia, that is a peninsula. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can have more than three sides. We kind of use the word that, or use the phrase almost surrounded by water. A very famous peninsula in the United States, obviously Florida. We don't think about it, but Alaska is also a peninsula. If you look at Mexico, you have the Yucatan and the Baja of California. India is a peninsula. Over here to the right, this is Korea. So you can see that is a peninsula as well. Again, a piece of land almost surrounded by water, and it's projecting out into the water. Next, a strait. Guys, this is the water version of an isthmus. It is the water version of an isthmus, okay? And what I mean by that is it's a narrow strip of water that connects two large bodies of water. This is probably the most famous strait in the world, I would guess. If it's not, it's pretty close. It's the Strait of Gibraltar. Up here is Europe, down here is Africa, and if you see, they're not connected. Here is another angle. This strait connects big body of water, which is the Mediterranean, to the Atlantic Ocean. One more time, this strait, narrow strip of water, you can remember the S in strait and the S in strip, narrow strip of water connects us to a big body and a big body of water. Here, the Atlantic Ocean, there, the Mediterranean. We have straits all over the place. There's a strait between Korea and Japan. There's a strait between France and England. Just about anywhere you see two pieces of land almost connecting, you can also find a strait. Again, a strait is water. Think of the S as sea, like it's the ocean, the sea. A strait is water. It does the same thing as an isthmus. It's just connecting two large bodies of water. All right, moving right along, friends. Oh, that's actually all we have. Those are our landforms. So make sure you're able to identify each of those. It's a pretty quick video. You might even want to watch it twice. Thanks, guys. And if you have any questions, please let me